it's Andrea Nakayama, functional medicine nutritionist, and I am on a mission, as you probably know, to increase your efficacy in practice, both so that your clients and patients can have better results and so that you as a practitioner can have better results in your practice, meaning you can grow your practice the old-fashioned way. And this week, I want to do that by reframing nutrition. We want to reframe the question that we're asking, and we need to retrain ourselves to reframe. So I wanted to today give you an idea of what I mean by reframing the question, and then I'm going to invite you to write the question that you want me to reframe below with reframe this and then your question. So the kind of questions I often get from practitioners are, how do I address Hashimoto's? Or how do I detox mercury? Or what do you think of this supplement or that supplement? As if there's one approach to every case, and there's not. And oftentimes, in order to think functionally and reframe the question, we need to change our positioning and our way into the case. So a great story that I happened to have read this weekend, and this is about a completely different industry that they were talking about, but is that we can creative problem solve when we reframe. So let me give you an example. The question posed was that the elevator in an apartment building was slow. And so the answer to what do we do about the slow elevator, the obvious answer seems that we replace the elevator. Now, this wasn't a possible solution because the office building couldn't afford to replace the elevator or the chains or whatever, I don't know, elevator technology, but they couldn't really afford to do those changes. So a creative group reframed the question and said, what are people actually complaining about? They're complaining about the fact that they have to wait too long. They're not complaining that the elevator is too slow. They're complaining that they have to wait for the elevator. So their solution was to put mirrors up in all of the lobbies where people were waiting for the elevator so that they wouldn't get bored, because people then look in the mirror and they check themselves out and they get preoccupied. So that's a great simple example that we can apply elsewhere for what happens when you reframe the question. Do you still solve the problem, but in a different way? And oftentimes in clinical practice, we're asking a question that doesn't allow us to practice root cause resolution. So I want us to back it up and reframe the question. And while we're doing this, write your question down below. And before I go, I do want you to know that we are in open enrollment time for the Digestive Intensive Jumpstart. So if you'd like to continue your Back It Up education, please go to www.digestiveintensive.com to learn more. And in the meantime, let's reframe this. Bye.